At CES 2026, one of the world's biggest consumer tech companies didn't just show new TVs and appliances. Samsung revealed a new generation of AI-powered televisions and household devices designed to operate together as a single system that learns how you live and adapts around you. These weren't future concepts or experimental demos. They were finished consumer products, shown running inside real homes. And that's why CES 2026 mattered. Because this wasn't about smarter gadgets. It was about AI crossing a line, from something you use to something you live with. This video isn't about specs or product hype. We're going to look at what was actually shown at CES 2026, how these AI systems work together inside the home, and why this moment quietly changes everyday life in ways most people aren't ready for. By the end, you'll understand why AI moving into the home is fundamentally different from AI on your phone, and why there may be no way back. For years, AI lived on screens, on your phone, on your laptop, inside apps you opened and closed. You chose when to interact with it. At CES 2026, that boundary disappeared. Because the AI systems Samsung showed weren't designed to wait for commands. They were designed to run continuously in the background, across TVs, appliances, sensors, and energy systems, learning routines, predicting needs, and coordinating actions without being asked. That's not a feature upgrade. That's a new operating model for daily life. For more than a decade, we used the term smart home, but smart homes were obedient. You asked, they waited, they responded. What CES 2026 revealed was something different. An anticipatory home. A home that notices patterns, adapts automatically, and quietly decides what to do next. Without a voice command, without a button press. And once that shift happens, technology stops being a tool you control and starts becoming an environment you inhabit. Here's where the technology actually changes. At CES 2026, the television was no longer presented as just a display. It was positioned as a central perception device for the home. Always on, always aware of what's playing, who's watching, how attention shifts throughout the day, and how the environment should respond. Image processing, sound profiles, recommendations, even how other devices in the room behave, adjust automatically. Not because someone asked, because the system learned. Now connect that intelligence to the rest of the home. The refrigerator doesn't just track food, it observes habits, timing, repetition, waste, preferences. The washing machine doesn't run fixed cycles. It optimizes around fabric history, load behavior, energy pricing, and household routines. Individually, none of this feels revolutionary. Together, it becomes something else, a system. And systems behave very differently than tools. Here's the part most people miss. This kind of AI only works in homes, not phones. Homes are predictable environments. Routines repeat, contexts stabilize, patterns compound. That makes the home the ideal place for adaptive AI to learn quietly and continuously. Which is why, once this model works well, there's no practical way to turn it back into a manual home. Under the hood, all of this depends on continuous inference. Instead of waiting for commands, the home constantly evaluates signals. Time of day, presence, recent activity, long-term behavior. Thousands of small decisions made repeatedly without asking. The home becomes adaptive rather than reactive. And this is where convenience and control start to collide. When the system gets things right, life feels easier. But when it gets things wrong, the user may not know what changed, why it changed, or how to override it. Because decisions didn't happen at a button. They happened inside a system. And the more capable the system becomes, the more invisible those decisions are. CES 2026 didn't frame this as a risk. It framed it as progress. A home that learns faster than you can configure it. A home that adapts before you notice the need. A home that shifts from reactive to autonomous. And once autonomy enters the home, the relationship between people and technology changes permanently. This wasn't just another consumer tech showcase. It was a preview of a lifestyle transition. A move from using AI to living with AI. And once that transition begins, there is no reset button. The real change isn't about appliances or screens. It's about agency. When decisions move from buttons to systems, from commands to predictions, from configuration to inference, who is actually in control? Convenience has a cost, not paid up front, but gradually. in moments where the system decides before you do, in habits you didn't consciously choose, in routines shaped by optimization rather than intention, and most of the time you won't even notice it happening. So here's the real question. Not whether AI will live in your home. That's already happening. The question is how much decision-making you're willing to give up in exchange for comfort, efficiency, and automation. Where you personally draw that line. Would you want a home that anticipates your needs before you ask? Or would that feel like something you never fully agreed to? At what point does helpful become too much? And if AI is already learning how you live, who do you think should ultimately control it? You, the system, or the company that built it? Drop your answer in the comments. Because this isn't just about CES 2026, it's about how we choose to live with AI, starting now.